We're going.
And it's a go! Welcome to Creative Chronicles, or Creative Chron, as we're calling it a little bit now, because
Well, that's
somebody
the
else
only thing that we're allowed to say.
might have the name
Instagrams
that,
and stuff. We are Creative Chronicles, but you might have a shortened version on all the socials.
All the socials. Creative Chron.
Hello.
I'm Romy.
I'm Rebecca.
And welcome to your weekly entertainment fix and insight into the industry.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say on the last episode, but I was just like, here's a thing that we do. Bye.
We do this thing, you should all know it by now. Cool. But we have to be consistent with the intros.
Sorry.
Apparently. That's
Well.
what we do. So, what have you been watching this week?
Oh, God, what have I been watching?
Well, today we're going to talk about reality programs.
Yes.
Because at the time of filming,
Yeah.
Big Brother had just come out.
Right.
So,
Yes.
we'll talk about Big Brother.
We'll talk about
Big Brother used to be on Channel 4.
Yes.
It was then taken by Channel 5. Now it's with ITV.
I know that was really confusing when I turned it on last night.
And I'm like, it's such a good premise when it first started. I understand why people are taking it and trying to continue it.
Yeah.
But they're just failing miserably because it's not what it was.
It's gone from being something quite brand new, a bit of like a spectacle. We've never done this kind of like live TV 24/7.
Fly
Put
on the
all
wall.
these random people in a room in a house and just watch them constantly. It was like a social experiment.
Yeah.
And now it's very much Love Island, here's your VT, this is who I am, we'll put you in. They can't do live stuff anymore really because people just can't do it anymore because it's just not PC, it's not right, it's not, well, it kind of like violates a lot of people's privacy.
Yeah, for people who might not remember,
Oh God.
back in day,
Back in bloody day.
it was 24 hours.
Yeah.
So you could wake up at 2-3 in the morning, click on Channel 4, and you would watch everybody sleeping.
Yeah, which was great when you couldn't sleep and you were just like, oh, just
Or there'd be people up talking and drinking, and you could just watch them, and it felt very like fly on the wall. You were getting into these lives.
yeah.
And it didn't feel as scripted and controversial as it does now, as in the sense that when people are on it now, you feel like they've chosen people with agendas.
Or
So
with a
it's-
social media following, or
Yeah.
this, or that, or, yeah.
rather than getting your average Joe,
Yeah.
we've got Sally that works at Chip Shop.
Sally
At Chip Shop, who's 35, with Megan, who's an influencer, she's 16.
Yeah.
You know, you haven't now, it's got, we've got to have, maybe like Darren and Molly will get together. You know, I feel like in the boardroom behind closed doors, it's all very much, they're trying to plan
Yeah.
the content
For the whole show.
for the whole show with non-actors, without a script, and they're trying to influence things to happen, because we know when there was a cheeky snog, of course your ratings are going to go up.
Yeah, when someone got drunk and threw up everywhere, everyone was watching it.
Ratings go up.
Yeah.
And then they tried to get it where, I mean, God, do you remember when Big Brother got to a point where it was just like, you don't want to see them having sex in a jacuzzi?
Oh my God.
It was absolutely vile.
Horrendous,
And
yeah.
it's like, no, we don't watch it for that. There was nothing funnier
No.
than having a bunch of people from mixed areas of the
Yeah.
world, areas of the UK, with different jobs, different ages,
Yeah.
getting trashed and really badly doing some challenges to get points,
Yeah.
to get the shopping.
Oh my God. And like, just think, like, iconic, like Nikki Graham. Just
Yeah.
being like, who is she? Who is she?
And all this, and you don't have that anymore. None of them are memorable.
Well, no, but the thing is that my big memories are the people that were in that. So Nikki Graham, Pete.
Even is it Josie who does
who does this morning?
this morning now?
Yeah.
Yep, she was on there.
Jade Goody, obviously, and
Yeah.
all that, like, just like these people that were just not normal. I don't care what the agenda was, as in the producers in that instance.
Yeah.
They weren't going, oh, we need someone with Tourette's, we need someone from
No.
South London, we need someone from Essex, we need someone who's really posh, blah, blah, blah. They were like, these people aren't going to gel well, let's put them in a house together and see what happens.
and see what happens. Whilst now, even watching a bit of last night, I turned it off.
Yeah, I turned it
I
off
was like,
as well.
you're picking people to tick boxes. You're picking people that you think the audience wants to see, rather than just creating content and seeing if people watch it.
Yeah.
It loses an originality and authenticity, which, I'm sorry, in a world now where we are churning out content, people are hip to it. Audiences aren't the passive, I'll say, dumb viewers that we used to be, where you'd come home and you'd watch something and eat your tea.
Yeah.
We're not. We're active. We watch it all the time. We know what
Yeah.
goes on. We know what goes on behind the scenes. We know how things
we know
are made.
so much more now.
We know everything. So when you put something out that's so contrived and predictable.
Yeah. Oh god.
Bloody predictable. Half the contestants for this year's that I'm just not going to watch it.
Well, it's like we are now a TikTok, Instagram reel generation. Everyone wants the content in like 3 minutes. We want to know what happened. We want every single episode of every single thing then and there. You're like, oh, you've got a 3.5 hour film. Bloody hell! Like you want, like obviously I'd watch that, but you want something instantly. You want instant gratification, and if you've got something that's like the model is there, but it's too similar to your Married at First Sights, your Love Islands, your this, your that.
It's also I've just been saying it. I've been reviewing a couple of new reality programs. Again, very much in the dating scene. That's really big at the moment.
Massive.
And they're trying to be different. But I'm like, everything is still samey.
Yeah.
The one I've been reviewing today, which will obviously be out by the time this is out. So it's set in Brazil. It's a couples reality program.
Yeah.
Again, it's on a gorgeous island. We've all got these gorgeous islands, haven't we? Everybody loves a gorgeous island that looks like you're going all inclusive, and then we're going to fuck it up by putting in some challenges.
Oh, bloody
Some
hell.
of these challenges are piss easy, right? There's one on this one where I was like, fair enough, they've got to get on a raft and go save the mother-in-law. Quite liked it, but again, they were given the raft, they were given the oars.
Oh, so they didn't have to make it. They didn't have this. They just had to get to the mother-in-law.
I'm like,
okay,
you know what? If my mum was on a raft, I'd fucking swim to her if I needed to. The raft is a nice bonus, actually. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. Okay. And that's it. Everything becomes very samey. So that is why, I don't particularly like dating reality programs. I'm not biased when I do my reviews, though, don't you worry.
No.
But I know, I can honestly... Never have I ever watched an episode of Love Island.
See, whereas I quite like Love Island, but it's changed. Like I liked the earlier
I've heard this
series,
yeah,
and obviously there was a lot of controversy, about how the contestants are treated. So I think that's why, like going back to Big Brother, I think that's why it has had to change, to become more controlled. So you don't get, because obviously mental health is a big issue now.
Yep.
And I'll go on to talk about that when I talk about Love Island, but like everything has to be more controlled when it comes to that. But it's like I used to watch like Laguna Beach and The Hills, and you watch all these people that used to be on it, and it was reality of living on Laguna Beach in LA and blah blah blah, and it was so amazing. But everything was recreated. They had a fight, they broke up. 2 months later, they had to go and recreate it. And I was just like, what? It's like when I found out wrestling wasn't real. Great.
Yes. Or like Made in Chelsea.
But Made in Chelsea was like a dramatised version of...
But nobody believed me when I said I was an extra in it.
Yeah.
Another friend was
I'm
getting paid today. Oh, I'm in Made in Chelsea. What do you mean? What do you mean? I was like, well, I'm sitting in the bar at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
That was just on the cusp where people were like, oh, it is created for drama purposes.
Yes.
Which is fine, because they used a lot of stuff that did happen.
Yeah.
But when it was like, some of my favourite moments on Made in Chelsea is like when they're all sat around having a Christmas dinner and they're just like, oh, well, you're just a fat turkey. And then I'm just like, what the fuck? Who says that? They were just like, you be the bitch. Fine, I'll be the bitch.
Yeah.
Like Spencer from Made in Chelsea.
Yes.
And he was like this Lothario. And I was like, I mean, I'm just saying this, but he was overweight. He wasn't that attractive. He was an asshole to all these women that he was dating.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you've just made it for views.
Yeah.
But then everyone was learning, like you say, everyone was getting hip to it.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they've changed certain aspects of these reality TV shows.
Yeah.
To make it more like a game show. So the one that you've been watching
is a game show.
It's a game show.
Yeah. And I do like a game show format. I like having a prize, even with like cooking reality programs.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a prize at the end. It's nice to have something to aim for and to give you that conflict, because if you're playing for like £500,000, £1 million, you are going to have a lot more in you than if you're not playing for anything. Because if I'm not playing for anything, I'm like, I'm fucking off,
Or if you win the Bake Off, you get a plate.
Yeah.
Which I find absolutely... It's like, here you go, you've won this.
Yeah, thank you. Well, like, I love... it's a game show, but blankety blank, where you just get a checkbook and pen.
Oh, mate.
Cool.
That's so good.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But some of them are really high stakes, which I really enjoy. And I think reality can be a really good escapism.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I really stick up for it for. I'm like, you know, we can really get into a world that's not our own, but it is our own. You're not watching Oppenheimer, you're not watching an intense film. Reality you can have on in the background whilst you're doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And that game show vibe, like with the dating series, you know, they're incorporating that, I think, to make it a bit more fun and to put a bit more tension in there, because sometimes you just don't want to watch two people trying to date.
Well, it's like I personally don't like Married at First Sight, because I think it's really, it's a bizarre concept that you're going to marry someone you don't know, you've never met. So we're going with the premise they've never met, right?
What we're led to believe.
We don't know. And then after they've been married and having the pictures taken, they're like, I love clubbing and staying out, and she's like, I don't like it at all. And then on their honeymoon they find out that he's a cheater, like he's cheated on every person he's been with, and she's like, oh my god, I don't think I can be with you.
Oh, so you're fucking married now?
Well, one, you're married, but two, like you said, are they doing it for, like, to find love? Because some of them do, I don't know about like the longevity of it, but some of them do get on and some of them do stay together, but don't know for how long. Yeah. But then, or do they just go because they want to be on telly?
Well, I was watching one called The Ultimatum.
Okay.
So you go on. So it's like, I'll say you and Tom. You and Tom are together, right? Yeah. That's her boyfriend.
Yes.
And you're going to give Tom the ultimatum. The ultimatum is, we get married or we break up. Literally. This is one where I got a little bit like, I'm kind of intrigued by this premise.
I'd watch it.
Some of these people have only been together like a year. Some of them, what really bothered me about this as well is they're all really in their 20s. And I'm like, give me some age ranges.
Yeah.
Give me some people get married in the 40s and 50s. Mm-hmm. You know, give me some ultimatums for people that have got a bit of life experience rather than being like, well, we've been together for like 4 years now and I'm desperate to get married. But it was interesting that some of the men were giving the women the ultimatum as well.
Oh, really? This is nice.
Yeah. Okay. So basically they're put through challenges, but I thought this was a bit weird in the sense that they then get them all to break up. So imagine you've got, we'll say 10 people, all couples, make them break up. They then have to then date one another.
Oh.
Incestuous reality. To then see if they actually want to be with the person they came with, and the ultimatum is, are you going to get married or are you going to break up at the end?
Oh, I want to watch this.
On Netflix. I was very like, okay, I can get on board with this. This is quite interesting. There's some bits which were kind of sad because I was like,
oh god, and then what if one of them wants to break up?
Do you know what? If I got into it and did like an ultimatum podcast, there was one guy in the second season that I was instantly just like, fuck off. I could tell he was going to cheat on her within... but is it cheating because they've broken up? Yeah, it's fucking cheating. You're on a bloody reality programme. You're still a couple. You're nonsense.
Yeah, because the end thing is to see if you want to be together still.
Yeah, and he went and cheated on her as like one of the contestants, and I was just like,
oh no.
Oh, yes, slag. So I was happy that they broke up because I was like, good, at least she knows. So there is also that kind of aspect to this one where it's like, if you're not meant to be with this person, they kind of get that at the end.
Yeah.
It's not like forcing people to be together like Married at First Sight. You know, it's not being like, you're going to be together. Love Island, you have to be together to win a prize.
You do have to be together, but you can always take it. This is the thing. This is why I quite like Love Island.
Yeah.
Is because some of them go on it because all of them go on it because they have this amount of followers and they have this and they do this and they're pretty and they're fit
and they look like this.
Yeah, but like a couple of seasons ago was like obviously the peak. Like Caroline Flack was presenting it. It was like everyone really loved it. Like, and it wasn't too like out there. It was like we're trying to like these pretty people are trying to find love. They're all in skimpy bikinis and whatever, like, and they're all getting ready, and it's kind of like quite relatable to a certain age range.
Yeah.
But now it's just a bit like, oh well, we've seen Molly and Tommy like succeed, and Maura and all these other people that used to be on it. There was a girl that was on Love Island who's now, obviously she studied like performing arts and she's an amazing singer. But she's now in Back to the Future, and she's been in all these like West End musicals. But she is trained. But she said she was like, someone came up to me and was like, "Oh, you used to be on Love Island, didn't you?" And she was just like, "I kind of wish I'd never done it, but it did propel me."
That's why people do it. Like I feel like you go on Love Island to get a contract somewhere else, whether it's with Boohoo or maybe helps you with the West End or whatever, and that's
which is fine.
And it's like, well, then just do a talent show.
Well, this is why I used to love watching like X Factor and
when
The
it was
Voice.
good.
When it was good.
Yeah.
And like obviously it was kind of, a lot of it came out that I know a load of people that have auditioned for it, and you
Same.
don't get through. Until you're on the telly. You've got like 4 auditions.
Yeah.
And then they tell you to sing it a certain way, and then the comment is, "Oh, that's not a good choice for you." And you're like, "It's been picked for me."
And then you've got to have a sob story. Yeah. Remember, everybody's got to
have a death or
a
struggle.
or something horrible. You can't be rooting for somebody
who's just normal.
Even like when I watched The Wheel. Have you ever watched The Wheel?
No.
The Wheel.
No.
It's a great game show on a Saturday night when you've got no plans.
I work on Saturdays.
Like me. And it's a great game show. And with Michael McIntyre, funny.
Okay.
And the people that come up, you've got to basically answer questions, etc.
Okay.
And I was saying the other day, I was like, I'm rooting for the girl who literally just wants to get some money to maybe get a house. Oh. I'm not rooting for the one that wants to donate it to this society because that helped them when their mum was dying. I don't want to root for the... I'm rooting for the average Joe who's literally just gone on a game show.
Just wants to up-level their life a little bit with some money.
Because, like, what would I do, Romy? What are you going to buy? I'm going to buy some crack. I'd be like, no, I'm going to...
I just won't get high.
I don't get high. Champagne.
I'm
going to go to my party fund.
Yeah.
You know, and don't get me wrong, people do need money for other things. I don't begrudge them
just
that
not
at
crack.
all.
Don't take crack, kids.
But on a lot of things, it does feel like everybody's got a sob story. I love programmes. Nick Knowles, fucking love the guy. Love DIY shit.
Yeah, me too.
But everybody's always got a really shit sob story. And I know that's the...
Or it's really, really sad.
And that's the point, because then it's like, look what we give them at the end.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of like, I'd just like you to pick like a random house and just go in and be like, let's do something for you.
It just needs a little bit of a
and you see things being like, nominate somebody to get something, nominate a friend and stuff. And I'm like, I never feel like any of my friends have had a hard life. Who can I nominate?
Just nominate me every time, and I'll nominate you every time. There we go.
Then again, I say that I don't think I'd like somebody coming in my house and having all cameras and doing up a room and stuff.
Yeah, that would be weird. No, not like that, but just kind of like, oh, if I'm going to go and win some money, I'm like, I'm bringing you with me.
Yeah.
See you later.
And like, I don't think I could hide my face if I actually... That's what was good about changing
rooms.
When people would hate it.
You had Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen in his fucking massively loud shirt going like, I've changed this.
And they'd be like a blood red or with like gold mirrors, and you'd be like...
furry... And they'd just be... the best videos that you can watch on YouTube are those where they hate it.
Yeah.
Like, Come Dine With Me. When they don't win,
when they kick off, when he kicks off,
and he's like, "I hope you're happy."
Yes,
you ruined my night, and I'm just like,
but I live for that though. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's really real.
Yeah, I want that excitement. Sometimes with the same format, it's comfortable to watch. I know when I put on DIYSOS, I know I'm going to get a sub story. They're going to do something really nice. It's going to be really happy,
and it's going to benefit
and everybody applauds.
Yeah.
Brilliant, lovely, comfortable. But sometimes when you watch like changing rooms, you'd get a bit anxious. You'd be a bit like, oh, what? She said no leopard print, and Lawrence is
They've got cushions, they've got a couch, they've got wallpaper, they've got everything.
It's happening. And you'd be ready for it. It's happening.
It's happening.
I kind of like that on Sky Arts with Portrait Artist of the Year and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they can be very, very, very critical.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy that side of it. I mean, sometimes they pick artwork where I'm like, oh, I think you've picked that to be a bit... Because they're definitely not the best fine artists at all. But I like that unpredictability.
Yeah.
That I might get shocked by something. Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of reality does miss, because like we said, everybody's using the same formats, we're getting the same similar shows.
Yeah.
So we're missing that
I agree.
Adrenaline rush.
Well, I think that's why Big Brother used to work more than it does now. And I guess that's a reason why they took like the format and changed it slightly, because they started doing Celebrity Big Brother, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then the whole like racism row with Jade Goody and Joe from S Club 7 and the other Scouse girl, I can never remember her name, but they all were extremely racist and rude to Shilpa Shetty.
God.
And that was like a big changing, like a massive thing. And they honestly didn't know anything about it.
Was it live?
So it was obviously in a highlights thing.
Okay.
So they ended up being like dubbed as like racist bullies, because they basically took the mick out of her accent, said that said specific things. I'm not going to go into it, but said specific things about herself and how she was. And obviously, like, Indian culture, she's a massive superstar, like, in obviously Bollywood films and as a performer. And the culture is obviously very different to 3 white girls from the UK.
Yeah, of course.
And they were dubbed as like bullies. Like, it did ruin their careers for a long time. But when they came out, they were just proper like, what are you on about? What do you mean? And they just didn't see it as a bad thing. But they were bullying her.
Was it when it was live? Because this is also what gets me with reality TV. So Big Brother at the first was live.
Completely live, yeah.
So they couldn't edit it. So now when you see reality TV, you know you've got like 10 hours worth of footage.
Into an hour.
Yeah. So you know they're picking and choosing, because a lot of things can be misconstrued, can't they? You're thinking, oh, we could make them look, oh, that's a bit drama, isn't it? But you don't know the context.
Ooh, they've looked at them, that means that they're cheating, blah, 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 we'll put that in.
Yes, we'll put that in. So with things like that, you know, I'm not saying they weren't, you know. Yeah. But I'm like, is it one of those cases where the studios are responsible for this because they've chosen to air specific points, or was it when it was... I missed that live element, because that live meant they can't edit it, they can't do shit.
Yeah.
And you're actually watching real-time, real things happening. Yeah. And I don't think they dare do that anymore, you know?
It wasn't live. It was edited into... Because obviously it was all, like, the day before was then edited into the next day. And because it was, like, it was churning it out. Like, them people working on them shows were literally going through 24 hours of footage, condensing it down to an hour. Yeah. But this was an actual, like, a big problem. They did start to bully her a lot. They did say a lot of racist things. They did, like, imitate her in her accent, which is unacceptable, especially for... celebrities going onto a reality TV show.
It's also just really ignorant and stupid of them.
It's just really stupid. Like, I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, it's stupid of them because it's ruined their careers. It's stupid of them to do anything like that. It's stupid for anyone to be that way. But they literally had no clue. So they would come out and Davina would interview them, and she was like, I want to show you what you said. And then all I can remember is Joe's interview, and she was just like, that was not how it was meant to come across. And then she bloody... like, removed herself from the public eye for years.
Yeah, well, you would, wouldn't you? Yeah, what choice do you have? You know, if you've been shown to be a racist, or her own ignorance not realising that is prejudiced and racist.
Exactly, because I think there is a fine line between people think it's an impersonation, or it's funny, or it's a joke, and everyone's getting involved in it, to actually it being racist and very, very, like, offensive. Yeah. But then it goes on to, like, Jade Goody, who then went on and did... because she was so remorseful and so embarrassed about it. Yeah. Like, that's how she was portrayed. She was like, I'm so sorry. She went on and did Indian Big Brother.
Oh, I remember,
and then they told her about her cancer diagnosis while she was in there.
Oh, God.
Which was also then a breach of privacy, and it was really shocking, and she had to leave. And which is... So, again, I think all the formats changed after the celebrity stuff kind of... fucked it, because obviously we were watching Big Brother when everyone was getting drunk and everyone was having sex, and and it was just like, oh God, like, what can we show, and should we be watching this?
Yeah, we're constantly developing as television programs go along. You know, back in the day you couldn't say the F word. Now you're saying the C word 24/7. You know, you're learning what audiences want, and you're learning what audiences will you know, take and not, because I can imagine they got flooded with complaints with stuff like that, you know, and you 100%. Don't want that. You don't want celebrities ruining, you know, you're getting the celebrities in order to get more views.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were trying to do, and they were trying to make it fun, and like, oh, you watch these like well-known people, like people who had been on Big Brother before, and celebrities.
I always think of the David's dead.
Oh my God, David's dead.
When David Bowie died, and I mean, like, I was distressed. I was so upset. And then I remember watching the Big Brother thing, and I was just like, it almost was comical.
It was so funny.
And it was her reaction, David's dead. And everyone's like, God. Who's David? Who's David?
she what, I can't remember what she was called.
Is it Angie?
I don't know about the woman. And she was just like, well, what would you like to say to Gemma? And she's like, well, I think Gemma's the... She was hilarious. And, oh God, I don't know if we can even say that. So
I'll put a disclaimer: C word is mentioned. Romy did so well in saying F word and C word, and you're like, Gemma's a Kentish town.
but that, I think it did come back, because they did have specific rules and regulations after it.
Yeah, well, which is healthy. You need it, and especially when you look at Love Island and how many contestants and presenters have suffered
Yeah,
to a
it's really
state
bad.
of killing themselves.
But again, I think
it needs to be there.
That's from they didn't give them enough kind of media training.
Yeah.
The people that are getting booked on Love Island have a following, no social media, blah, 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 but they might not have the media training afterwards.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people
Can't
could
cope.
not cope with the fame, with the interviews, with the bad press, especially.
Bad press,
if you were a
yeah.
bad person on Love Island, like Muggy Mike, he ended up killing himself afterwards, but he was made out to be the villain. And I bet you they were like, play on it. Just
100%.
play on it.
Play on it. Hype it up a little bit.
So, but obviously after they came out and they saw the reality of it, they were just like, we can't. And obviously the bullies with Caroline Flack, and
Ugh.
it's just so sad.
It's horrible. I mean, I know if I got to a level of fame, I would not look at any comments. I get comments on my work now as a reviewer.
Yeah.
Like this one made me laugh the other day.
Oh God.
Where someone just literally wrote, "Are you dense?
Are you dense?
Are you dense?" And
You
I
need
was
a
like,
dunce hat.
I was like, I don't know. Am I dense? Like, what did I miss?
What? As in, like,
Oh.
dense as in, like...
Am I stupid?
Yeah.
Am I stupid? And to be fair, this is quite funny because everyone will have watched it now. There's a part in Gen V.
Yeah.
So I got the screeners weeks and weeks and weeks ago so I could review it.
Yeah.
There's a part in the 3rd episode where there is like a fight scene and then it cuts to them being in bed.
Oh.
I thought I'd got a dodgy link. I missed out a bit of the scene.
And you're like, am I dense?
And I thought,
What's
I
happening?
won't message Amazon, I'll just leave it because I don't feel like I've missed too much at the end of the scene for it
Yeah.
to ruin an impact of me with my review. So I thought, just a bit of a dodgy link. No, that's actually a cut. It's a real cut that they use.
Ah?
So it makes no sense. It's shit.
Oh, God.
And I was like, so this guy was like, "Are you dense?"
You were like, no, it's
that
actually
cut
how it
obviously
happens.
means this. And then I thought, actually, I've watched all the episodes. It means fuck all, actually. Prick. But that's it. I've had some
Yeah. you've had some
nasty
bad
comments and stuff from being a reviewer, but they don't see me. I think when somebody starts then attacking what you look like, how you've acted, I can't imagine the intense pressure that some celebrities go through with this,
yeah,
and how horrible it is.
Especially that body image as well and all that kind of...
And that's where these
Ugh.
producers and studios and companies have to take that into accountability, that you are putting people in a position that they're going to get ridiculed, attacked, because the British media itself and the British public and other people online, we've got trolls, we've got all these people, are so vitriolic and nasty that you have to have aftercare with them. You have to give them the training.
Yeah.
Even with look at Jeremy Kyle.
Oh my
when
God.
that all got stopped, very abruptly got stopped.
Yeah.
But when you look back at some of those episodes and you think,
I mean, it was great TV.
it was absolutely fucking hilarious. But you think, if that was now,
yeah.
the way we've developed with technology, I mean, some of these old clips from Jeremy Kyle go back on TikTok and stuff, and I am screaming laughing because I remember who they are. But then you read some of the comments underneath
Oh, God.
with the people that are so heinous, and I'm like, this person was like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Jeez.
Like, leave them alone.
Oh my
Calm
God.
down. Get a life.
Yeah.
If I'm always just like, just either comment something nice or comment something.
Or even, I
decent
can't believe
criticism.
it. I can't believe this was aired, or this was that, or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
But people are...
God, yeah. When you look back at, do you remember
Oh my
Fat
God.
Families and super size versus super skinny?
Yeah.
The 90s and early 2000s
Ooh, bad.
was fucked.
It screwed with your mental health, it screwed with your body image, it screwed with everything, so let's not.
But it still kind of does. I still think reality TV, game shows.
Yeah, like I'm a Celeb and
know.
stuff, like great viewing and whatever.
I think
but...
they do have more harm than they do
Yeah.
entertainment value. I think people get heavily invested. I think people get affected by things.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, we forget that a lot of reality TV is just the everyday person.
Yeah. Within reason, I think.
Yeah.
I totally agree. It's just a slightly normal or
Yeah.
pretty if you're going on Love Island, or this if you're going on this one.
Yeah.
It's just a normal person that's looking for love, that wants a bit of fame, that
Yeah.
wants a bit of fortune.
Yep.
And unless they're a horrible person, they do not deserve.
But if they are horrible, we're championing it anyway.
Yeah. Everyone needs a
Yeah.
villain. Everyone needs a villain.
I'll say that sometimes when I'm watching some of this stuff, I can be like, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Call some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, go stir it up a little bit.
Yeah, instead of being like, I love everyone.
I know, but then you think, God, should they do that, if when they come out they're going to be made to be the villain and people are going to take it so seriously that person's going to be ridiculed, it kind of ruins TV when you think about
it does.
audiences.
Yeah, because you have to back yourself, you have to kind of like cover certain bases, but then you have to have a good TV show premise, but then it's like, where's the happy medium?
Yeah.
Between satisfying the audience and not damaging the people that are on the TV.
Yeah.
Or that are on these shows. It's really difficult.
It is.
And that's basically like, I'm not really going to do a morbid fact because obviously a lot of people have lost their lives due to like, especially
due to these programs.
Due to these programs. So I'm not having a morbid fact this week because it's sad and it's not. But it's
not
does need to be
appropriate.
It does need to be talked about, the aftercare of these people that are normal and just get catapulted into fame.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't mind at the end of them where you'll see like, so like The Ultimatum, for example, has a catch-up episode. You know, a lot of like the Desperate Housewives. What are they called? Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh my god, I love it.
Those ones, they have the catch-up episodes, don't they? Where they go on, they all go together, and you learn. And I kind of appreciate those because you want to see how they are afterwards.
Yeah. If see what's going on,
become famous, or what's going on, and did you stay with your partner, and how is that? And it's it just it's a bit meh, but it is needed when you are messing with people's lives and people's futures, and I don't think they take that into such consideration when they go on these programs.
No, they don't. I don't.
No, not the dating and reality ones like that. Like I said, things like game shows and like baking and cooking ones.
Pick off. Yes. That's back.
Nailed it. And
Strictly. Yes. Come on.
Oh, is it cake? Is it cake?
Oh my god.
Is it cake?
Yes, it is.
I was just like, it's cake, bite it. Just
have it.
Just have it.
Yeah.
You know, those ones, it's not going to be devastating, but the ones that are really personal,
yeah,
and involving your love life, your relationship life, and what you're like,
yeah, being attacked for who you are rather than But I get it. But do you have a fun fact?
Well, no. I used my reality fun fact in last episode by accident.
Oh, wow.
I was trying to learn so many facts.
Yeah, I know. I keep forgetting about my fun facts.
That I was like, oh crap. So. And then my documentary fun fact was going to be about...
Well, let's say that. We're doing a little switcheroo.
I did a switcheroo. I messed up. Okay, I'm only human.
Okay.
I'm only human.
Don't come for you, okay?
Remember, I'm dense. Remember this, you know. What's he called? Roger 05 knows I'm dense. And,
bloody hell, Roger 05. Aye.
Yeah, so I was looking at documentaries, and I was looking at a documentary about the filming of Apocalypse Now.
Okay, here we go.
Very, very... great film, long film, great, beautiful. And so it was like a behind the scenes kind of film.
Yeah.
And in that, filming it was so stressful and strenuous that Martin Sheen had a heart attack when filming the film.
Oh my god.
And we only learned that from the documentary.
It's a strenuous, like doing like a war type film must just be very intense.
Oh, what was it? Harry Styles in Dunkirk said it was one of the worst things he's ever experienced, and for me he was one of the best actors in it because he looked miserable as sin, and I was like, that is what you would look like. And I was like, you're filming it was Dunkirk, wasn't it? What do you think you're gonna do? You're not gonna be in bloody LA on the beach, are you? You're gonna be on the beach in Normandy in the freezing cold for about
in the water
for about 20 hours a day.
Yeah,
there's just a scene where he's just sat and he just looks like he's ready to...
Oh, God.
to cry.
Harry, don't worry.
And I was like, oh, baby Harry, welcome to the film industry.
Yeah, get into them bloody roles where you lose all the weight and gain all the weight. Do a Christian Bale and then come back to us.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yes, perfect. So, yeah, that was my little fact. I don't really have any other ones.
Neither do I.
Sorry.
But I really enjoyed this. That was a really good topic to talk about.
Really fun.
Yeah.
So, guys, like we said, remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, please.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your co-workers. Put it on in the office. I don't know.
Yeah, just put it on in the background and just get it on a loop. We just
get it on a loop.
Thanks.
Get it on a loop.
Yes, but thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Cute.